there's a trader called Omar, I think Umar, yeah, with a U. And he said like, before his trades, he writes out like a game plan, and then he takes a trade, see how it evolves, and then sees if that game plan played out, and if it did or if it didn't, he searches for the reason why. So I actually do remember US30 a couple of days ago. I'm going to show you guys on the charts here. So yeah, in terms of price action, where we was at the time, we were around here, and I had stated that my thesis for US30 was a shift in trend because we were making lower lows and lower highs, but coming into this area of support around 45,500, we created a inverted head and shoulders. So my thesis when price was around here on the Monday was for price to actually burst through this resistance barrier, and it has done that. As you guys can see, it's clearly done that. It's done that today, but there's like a timing factor around it. Let me get my thing here. So yeah, one thing that I will say, because in my mind, I did capitalize off of this prediction, but I didn't capitalize off of the move, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Because my prediction was, because I was on the 4-hour time frame doing my analysis, my prediction was for price to burst through this area of resistance and hit this area, and then potentially the one higher. And as you guys can see, it's done that, but it was on the 4-hour time frame. Now, the time frame that I'm taking my trades on is like the 5-minute or the 1-minute time frame. So you guys can see like, okay, I was able to capitalize off a trade, but I wasn't able to capitalize off the actual anticipated move. Now, there's many reasons as to why I wasn't able to capitalize off the actual anticipated move. One is my time frame of entry. Number two is the actual time that this moved. As you guys can see, look, the Tuesday, so Tuesday's trading day was like this, and we created a W pattern at the low of the day, and then from that W pattern that was created at the end of the day into the close of the session, we just burst all the way through coming into Asia. So it's like, yeah, that's a tough one, you know, because my trade was around here. That's where my trade was. You know, we had retraced from the high of the day and then brought peak formation low in and traded back to the top into this resistance level. And then I of course got out, and then price consolidated, and then the next day we went down to actually stop these traders out and work the low of Monday as well, which is Asian session. So pretty much taking all of the buyers out of the market from Monday. If Asian traders had moved their, if they had rolled their stops, or if they had kept it below here, they would have been okay. And then absolutely blasting through resistance, which was the prediction. So yeah, good analysis, good trade, but I'm always trying to refine myself. I'm always trying to refine my trading. So when I look at things like this is a learning this is just a learning experience when I think about it. Like, I'm trying to ask myself, even as I'm making this video, I'm literally trying to ask myself, like, okay, how could I have capitalized off of that move? You know, like what system, what strategy could I have put in play to capitalize off of that move? Because that move, come on, man, this big move from 46,500 all the way up to 47,500, going into 48,000, you know, so 1,500 pips, like, and I had anticipated this to happen, but I wasn't able to catch the whole 1,500 pips. So you guys can see how trading works. Like, just because you predict something to happen or your analysis predicts it to happen, the things in between that occur can either make or break the trade opportunity itself, and you taking advantage off of that opportunity, off of that prediction, you know. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to do a little breakdown of US30 itself. Right now we are all the way up at the highs. We've got FOMC coming out in 30 minutes, so we'll see what that does as well. But yeah, all in all, just learning as I go along, and making sure that I'm continuously refining my trading. Because you can never say, I got it, bang, done. I got the method, I got the strategy, it's done, I don't need to learn anymore. You can never say that. You always have to be getting better. You always have to be seeking ways to learn, even if it's just reinforcing the same information. It's still important, and it still is beneficial to you learning. Like, Mayweather doesn't go and say, oh yeah, I've perfected the jab. No, he will continuously train that jab and work on that jab, you know. So it's the same in trading. It's the same in trading. So yeah, you guys can see that. And then we've got gold. Gold has moved higher as well, just a little higher than the previous high after about 2 full days of consolidation. Again, gold as well ended up moving at the end of the day into the close. So situations like this, like, you have to kind of be because one thing I did when I started trading, let me just say this to you guys, one thing I did when I started trading, yeah, was I used to just go on any random pair and be like, okay, cool, say price is here. I used to be like, you see, if I would have sold here and just waited and then took price all the way down there, I would have made bread. I used to do that in like my first 2-3 years of trading. I used to think like that. And then as I took losses and gained experience in the market, I realized how that's not even true. Like, there's so many things that go into trading in itself. Let's say you did get in there. You might see one candle going up towards your entry position and start to lose confidence and then get out of the position. You know, you might even be sleeping at the time that price even made this move, you know, just like US30 right here. Like, this was the close of the day and then the start of the new day. So I'm sleeping, I'm not even on the charts, you know. So having that type of mindset of, if I would have just bought here and then got out here, I would have made this amount of money. Like, that's the wrong mindset to have in trading. You know, you need to factor in a lot of things. Trading psychology, risk management, your emotions. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. Like, even let's say you would have bought down here and then got out up here. Whilst all this is going on, you might get out of the trade because you don't believe in it anymore, you know. So there's many factors that come into play. That's why trading is such a weird game when I think about it, because I used to think like that. Like, oh, this is easy. I could have just bought here and then go out here. You can see price clearly went up. But when you're in the moment and you're actually trading, you realize like, okay, this is not even about trading. This is not even about the money. This is about my own emotions and controlling myself, and then building a system, a strategy, a plan that makes sense to me, to my personality, and then following that ultimately, you know. So yeah, I've kind of rambled on a bit, you know, in this video, but I just pretty much wanted to break down the US30 trade and then give you guys an update on what the market is currently looking like, as you guys can see. And yeah, catch you in the next one.